introduce you.
Okay. Hey, man. Awesome. Thanks.
You are. When the man come out, it's Don, right?
Dan, like Daniel.
Daniel. Let him know that he like speak.
Okay. I got you.
Thank you.
Are you the? Sure. Okay. Are you the leader?
No, I'm just working with the security team.
You with the security team?
Yeah.
Can
and
I?
school too.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Yes, go ahead.
Like, I was looking on your website, right, and it says that Muhammad lived an exemplary life, and that's how you guys try to live. And so I'm just
Yes, that's correct.
wondering, do you guys, like, what was exemplary about him? And
I'll let you talk to the man about that. I know a lot
Right.
of things I can state.
Hey,
I feel
yeah,
like
that's fine.
we say there's a lot of things I can share with you,
yeah,
but I'll let him.
could you tell me a couple?
Exactly.
Could you tell me a
You
couple?
wanna know one? You want to
Yeah,
know one?
yeah, two, or yeah, one's good.
He's the first fighter for women's liberation.
The first what, sorry?
First fighter in humanity is civilized civilization for women's liberation. I'll just
For
give you that one.
women's liberation?
That's right.
Okay,
Because before he came, it was brutal to women in Saudi Arabia.
okay,
Brutal.
okay, okay,
Buried girls, children alive. Did you know that?
okay. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
If you had a child,
Yeah.
and you was born in that culture,
Yeah,
you would have to understand it.
Yeah.
You would take your child from your wife,
Yeah.
look at it.
yeah,
It's a girl, we're burying her today.
yeah,
And even you would have did it because it was part of the culture. Muhammad came and said, God said that's inappropriate, that's immoral.
yeah. Right.
So
What
they
about-
stopped burying women, children.
Okay.
Then women was able to get high positions,
Yeah,
work in the society,
yeah,
be part of the Muslim community.
yeah.
Now, culturally, what has
Yeah.
happened is, just like any great leader when they die, what
Yeah.
do we do? What do we do? You're a smart man.
Culturally, when they die, we
Regress.
regress. Okay.
We regress
That's
from
what
their
happened.
teachings.
Okay. Okay.
We're not following George Washington, Abraham Lincoln today, are we? Some of their thinking. As far as the country, no.
So, yeah,
No.
probably not most people, I guess. Yeah,
Most-
almost all people. I
Maybe
guess.
you as an individual, but
Yeah.
overall as a country, some
Right.
of the founding principles that they believed in their heart,
Right.
core,
Right.
we regress from them.
Totally.
When you
True. True. I agree.
So what you see today
Right.
is a regression from the life of Prophet Muhammad, but more so what it's a regression from is the Quran.
Okay.
Because even the Quran tells you if you find a dispute and
Yeah.
when somebody told you about Muhammad, now that he's
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah. Yeah.
reject it and follow the Quran over Muhammad's.
Right.
So you can come and say, oh, I'm a scholar, brother.
Yeah.
I've been studying for 20 years in the highest temples of Islam and
Right.
college universities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you say, hey, Muhammad said this.
Right.
You're supposed to be a student enough to know, well, let me think about that. That don't sound right. You don't get into a dispute. You say, thank you, brother, for that information. You go back and the Quran should support that.
Right.
If it doesn't, Allah revealed, guess what? You do not follow that neither.
Okay. So what about?
Because it also reveals that Prophet Muhammad was just a prophet and a man like
Okay.
everybody else.
Okay.
He was not God himself.
So what do you guys think about Aisha? Like she was like 9 years old when he consummated the marriage, right?
Well, there's mixed reviews on that.
Like do you
Let me
guys
tell you,
do you
because-
believe the hadiths or?
Not all of them.
Okay. Sahih al-Bukhari though?
Some of them.
Sahih al-Bukhari?
There's a set of hadiths. Let me give you a little history of Islam.
Okay.
Fourth, fifth. So I was a witness, first generation.
Yeah.
I'm more likely to see what took place, right?
Okay.
When during the prophet's time.
Okay.
You're first generation. Let's just say you.
Yeah.
I'm recording my
Yeah, yeah.
father, you.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm here.
yeah.
So my interpretation when it says from brother of so-and-so who was there,
Okay.
those are the hadiths more safe.
Okay.
When they say as reported by, what my name is Farouk. What brother Farouk said about, what's your name?
I'm Daniel. Like
Okay,
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah,
You're my
yeah.
uncle.
Yeah.
As he said about brother Daniel,
Yeah.
if you got as reported, that means
Yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, fourth hand, fifth hand generations telling you what Farouk said about Dan.
Right.
Instead of Dan, what Farouk
Yeah.
said about Dan.
So
So
yeah.
everything gets diluted
Okay.
or exaggerated. So
Isn't-
you got to be careful with hadiths.
But doesn't Sahih mean good? Like aren't those the good hadiths?
Sahab al-Bukhari.
Yeah.
Some of those are the good hadith.
Some are, or all of them?
Some of them have even been re-recorded.
Okay.
But the majority, that's the safest, most universal hadith to read.
Yeah.
But you got over, between you and I,
Yeah.
you got over 2,000 hadith.
Right.
You got
right.
more now.
Fair enough.
You
Fair
got
enough.
more now, still coming along. People
Okay.
interpreting and coming along with
Okay.
just like you have different sects now.
Right.
You got over 70 different sects.
Right. Of Islam?
When it used to be for 5 schools of thought,
Right. Right. Okay.
Now it's up to 70.
Okay.
But the Quran warns of that.
Right.
There's revelation on that.
Right.
Do not become divided amongst yourselves and form into sects.
Yeah.
It knew that over, what's this, 2024, correct?
Okay. Okay.
So let's just say it was 1,600 years ago.
Yeah.
14, yeah, 1,600, 600 and some plus years ago.
Okay.
Think about that.
Okay.
How would someone be able to foresee 1,400 years later
Yeah.
mankind? Well, only person who knows human nature
Yeah.
is something bigger than us, right?
Yeah. Are you Sunni Muslims? Sunni? Or
Sunnah.
Sunnah, sorry.
Sunnah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how it's
Sunnah
okay.
means
all
we
right.
follow the Quran
Right.
first,
Okay.
and the hadiths that's most safe
Second. Okay.
second
Okay.
about Prophet Muhammad.
Sunnah.
So
Not
just
Sunnah.
give you a little clarity.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
questions.
Okay.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
no,
it.
fair enough.
Because I've heard all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to
Okay.
do my own research before
Right.
too. Even as a person who took the Shahada.
Okay.
I wasn't born Muslim.
Okay. You were. Oh, really? Okay.
No.
Where were you born?
Yeah.
In Northern. Okay. So you became a Muslim
Yes.
how long ago?
When I was approximately, I began studying about 19.
Okay.
Took me some years.
So what do you
So
think
about
about?
20, I want to say 22, between 22, 24, when my memory
Okay. Okay.
is accurate. So I studied and went around and looked for 3-4 years and listened and asked intelligent questions.
Yeah.
Such as you did.
Okay.
Things that I heard and didn't
Yeah.
hear.
Right.
And then I also researched it on my own.
Yeah.
Which you'll find there's like 4 different hadiths. Some
4
say
different
about
compilations. Okay.
Aisha, show you an example
Okay,
how
okay.
diluted things can get.
Okay.
There's one that describe it as 9.
Okay.
Somebody else says 12.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then another group says 14 because
Okay.
of her age, her body development, and
Right.
her maturity at the time, correct?
Okay. What about?
And then as witnessed by, what's more important, as witnessed by her family.
Okay.
So those hadiths is what you kind of look at. That's firsthand. And
Okay.
you know when you read something, you know when something is firsthand. Am I correct?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if it says,
Sure.
as recorded, let's go back to me and you, Don, right?
Yeah. Down.
As recorded by Farouk,
Yeah.
that's firsthand.
Right.
Now, if somebody comes along, let's just say Brother Thomas comes
Yeah.
out of there, and then it says, as reported by Brother Thomas, according to Farouk,
Yeah.
now it's secondhand.
Right.
Then you can have Brother Lau,
Yeah.
as reported by Brother Lau, according to Brother Thomas, as reported by Brother Farouk.
Okay.
Watch those hadiths. Those are the dangers of hadith.
Okay.
Hadiths is
Okay.
more cultural influence. As you get down the road, you get further away from those who never witnessed a thing or knew anyone. Think
Okay.
about that.
Yeah.
If you get 7, 5, and 6, 4, well, let's just say 4 generations, they may never know anyone personally that knew Don.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Gotcha.
All that is kept passed on, and along the way with verbal pastillations,
Yeah.
something is lost,
Yeah.
something is added,
Right.
sometimes it's even exaggerated. Am I correct?
True. What about? Do you know who Muhammad Hijab is?
Who?
Muhammad Hijab.
No.
He's on YouTube. He's like really big. Has,
How he
I
looks,
think
'cause
almost.
I'll be careful with
I think he has almost, yeah, for sure. He has almost 1 million followers, but he said if you just follow the Quran, like Surah 65:4, it says that basically you can sleep with young women like that, though. Right? It says the waiting period for women who have lost all expectation of menstruation or have not yet menstruated is 3 months. For pregnant women, the waiting period ends with the delivery of their child, right? And that's talking about getting married and consummating the marriage. So it's saying you can marry and consummate women if they haven't even menstruated yet.
I don't know about that.
That's in the Quran 65:4.
We got a Quran. We can pull that up.
He said, it's your Quran.
Habibi, I like this.
When I studied the very text that he delivered,
What else?
I realized that he
Pedophilia.
was a
So if you're Quran alone,
Here we go.
you're steered towards pedophilia, a severe type of pedophilia,
Severe type of
a
pedophilia.
wife abuse, a severe
wife
type
abuse.
of wife abuse,
Severe
and
type
in
of
fact,
wife
let me
abuse.
tell you something else.
So if you go by the Quran alone, you steer toward a severe form of pedophilia and a severe form of wife abuse.
And this isn't us saying this, ladies and gentlemen. This is Muhammad Hijab saying, if you just go with Allah's perfect speech, keep in mind, Allah had all eternity to get his words, his book, his speech exactly the way he wanted it. If you just go with Allah's perfect speech, you would steer towards a severe type of pedophilia. You'd be a severe, really and especially sick pedophile. And a severe type of wife abuse, so much so that your wives are terrified you're going to chop their heads off.
Yeah, pull it out.
And then if he interprets that way, then that's an interpretation. But the Arabic, that's why it's so important, like to learn Hebrew, to learn Arabic. Okay. So you can get your own knowledge. Right. And the words that he may be using in an English translation to misguide someone. Right. And here's the thing, that's how extremists are formed.
Okay. Yeah. I agree. That's why we got to talk, right?
You know how they form? Because they know Arabic and you don't. They know that word has a multiple root meaning, right? Okay. Yeah. And they take one root to justify their actions and create a new, what they call a new preaching. Okay. A new preaching. Okay. What is a new preaching in America? New interpretation, right? New interpretation, sure. And
that's where you get all the denominations and stuff,
there you
right?
go.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Christian faith,
Christianity too, right?
In the Christian faith, there used to be one group at one time. Yeah. Then you had the Pentecostal rebellion of the Pentecostal. Then from that comes
Reformers and Baptists and all that stuff. Yeah.
So and then you have different interpretations, and everyone has a scripture that can support their movement. Correct? Taking it out of context, in a sense. So So what I want you to understand is keep seeking. Yeah. Always ask questions. But be careful sometimes because. How can I say it? Power and control is one of the most beloved things, more so among men than women.
Yeah, true.
It makes you feel important.
Yeah, true.
It makes you feel needed.
True.
If you look at the hierarchy, if I perceive myself as powerful, knowledgeable, and controllable, you come to me, right? Consult. Right. Yeah. So I build me a group. Yeah. That's natural. Yeah. So a lot of ones of that, be careful of how you interpret things. Yeah. Because you go to the source. And this is what it saved me, honestly. Yeah. I've learned, am I highly influent in Arabic? No. Do I know basics? Yes. Yeah. And sometimes if you play any sport, let's use that analogy. Yeah. All you need is the basics to understand it. Yeah. To not be manipulated. Yeah. You don't have to be the pro player that goes Hall of Fame. True. Right? Yeah, true. Okay. That's the saving grace. Okay. Learn your basics. Learn that the English meaning is just an English meaning. Yeah. And then someone can take our language and manipulate even the English meaning if you're born in America. Yeah. And mislead people like they do in Saudi Arabia, or Kuwait, or Pakistan, or Palestine.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to ask you, is like those places. So what I see in the Quran, what I looked at too, is like if you look at Surah 9:5, right, it says to kill the polytheists, right? Surah 9:29 says to kill the unbelievers, right? Surah 9:111 says that, like, if you die killing people in jihad, then you get to go to paradise, right? And it's always talking about killing the unbelievers, right? So what do you think about that? Like, especially, well, it focuses on all unbelievers, right?
So, see how you found this section, try to help with
November 20-something, so it's possible.
But in Islam, to take something out of a passage without seeing all the history, all of the passages before that. So if all the passages before that are stating being merciful to unbelievers, being merciful to those who oppress your religion, being merciful to polytheists.
Christians.
Let's use polytheists.
I'm a Christian. Yeah.
Christian. Okay, polytheists. Yeah. Which means multiple